Hello, my dear students. I am L.K. Tripathi. Very good afternoon. Today we shall start History chapter 7. That is a new chapter for you. Dear students, we shall study in this chapter the colonies and Indian industries. This chapter will give us so much information about the colonialists, then about the British rule and Indian industries. What condition Indian industries got after the colonial establishment and before the colonial establishment, what type of industrial setup was there in India, what was its identity, quality, demand, and so on. So better us to start this. Let's get started. Before the British conquest of India and the subsequent capture of the Indian markets with English goods, Indian products enjoyed enormous popularity in European markets. This is absolutely true. Before the establishment of colony in India, Indian handicrafts, Indian cotton, Indian spices, Indian goods were highly demanded in European markets. It was very popular from people to cinnamon, linen to silk, saltpeter to iron and copper. Indian goods had an international standard and an ever increasing market of consumers. Pepper, that is a kind of herb which is used for spice also and some diseases. Cinnamon, cardamom, linen, silk, saltpeter, all these spices materials, also iron and copper, they are highly demanded in international market. Consumers were very much attracted of all these goods. The company guarded its precious colony with trade monopoly acquired from the British Parliament through unfair means. Only in the year 1857, when the Crown took over the administration of India, and finally in 1813, when the Charter Act was passed, did the monopoly of the company end. Do you think it changed the fate of India in any way? Discuss in class. Company which had kept a vulture eyed over the Indian goods, they established their colony here in India to create the trade monopoly. India was such a place or such a trading center for the Europe from where enormous and huge wealth could be recovered from the spices, silk, other type of products, cotton, handicraft, iron, steel. क्या आप इस बारे में जानते हैं कि भारत का भाग कैसे बदल गया इससे? इस क्लास में इसको डिस्कस करके थ्रू द वीडियो वी शैल कम टू नो कैसे हाउ डिड इंडियन फेट चेंज आफ्टर द एस्टेब्लिशमेंट ऑफ कॉलोनी. ट्रेडिशनल टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री ऑफ इंडिया. व्हाट इज ट्रेडिशनल टेक्सटाइल? Industrialization initially signifies the extent of industrial development of a country. Before the colonial rule, there was a time when India was the industrial workshop of the world. We have seen earlier how Indian goods, particularly textiles and spices, were in demand throughout the world. As we have discussed above, these things were at high demand in the international market. Till the early 19th century, India was a great center of craft and industry. However, this scenario changed when the Industrial Revolution started in started in England. Industrial Revolution came to England. So many industries started to establishment after the World War. After that, this marked the decline of Indian handicraft and Indian industries, which were the traditional practice of Indian artisans and Indian craftsmen. After the Industrial Revolution, Britain took the lead in the mechanized production of textiles, as iron steel industry also grew at tremendous pace. This was closely related to the conquest and colonization of India by Britain. There was a close relationship of conquest between India and Britain and colonization, जो बाद में चल करके जो हमारा ट्रेडिशनल इंडस्ट्रियल कॉटन इंडस्ट्री था उसके डिस्ट्रक्शन का कारण बना, जिसको हम डी इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन कहते हैं. मतलब द ट्रेडिशनल इंडस्ट्री ऑफ इंडिया which were practiced in the country since very early time got declined. It was not until the end of the 19th century that the Indian cotton textiles industry regained its premier position with the setting of new and mechanized cotton textile producing unit towards the end of the 19th century. Again it regained, Indian cotton industries regained its premium position after setting the machine in the industries while the British also set up so many industries in India to produce huge quantity of cotton and textiles. Weaving has always been an integral part of Indian civilization. Since the Harappanis, even in the 18th century, weavers excelled in the art of weaving, and India was one of the largest exporter of textiles in the world. See the condition of the country. It was the largest producer and exporter of textile in the world. None were such a country. Indian textiles had long been renowned for their quality and exquisite craftsmanship. The merchants made enormous profit by trading in textiles. Towns such as Surat, Calicut, Masulipatam, and Visakhapatnam emerged as prominent trading centers, while Dhaka, Bhuj, Madurai, etc. developed as specialized production centers for fine textiles. Some of the varieties of cotton textiles in great demand in Europe were muslin, bandhani, calico and cheap. They were highly liked in the European market. Muslin, bandhani, calico and cheap. About muslin, bandhani, calico and chintz, what were they? We shall discuss below. Kinds of Indian cotton textiles. First of all, we shall come to understand about the muslin. Why muslin was named? Muslin was a finely woven cotton textile cloth made in India, particularly Bengal. It was so fine that a sari could be drawn through a medium-sized ring. Muslin was named after Mosul, a place in present-day Iraq from where it was exported to Europe. Muslin was in great demand in Europe. Bandhani was a brightly colored cotton cloth which got its name from bandhana, meaning tying up. This cloth was produced through a method of tie and dye. It was mostly produced in Rajasthan and Gujarat. After their arrival in India, the Portuguese took back with them cotton cloth along with spices. This type of cotton cloth was called calico, named after the town of Calicut on the Kerala coast, where they reached first. Another famous Indian cotton textile especially used in drapery was chinch. Its name is derived from the Hindi word chin. This was a cloth with small colorful flowery designs. For its floral designs, it was in great demand in England and Europe. It had fine texture and was relatively cheap. Rich people had Indian chins on their walls and on their tables. See the picture, figure 7.3. Indian artisans had achieved high level of expertise in weaving and dyeing cotton textiles. This is their manual practice through which they used to produce this type of cloths. It was totally handmade. Industrial revolution and textile production in England. Because of great demand for Indian textiles in England, local manufacturers in England began to panic. Around this time, the British textile industry had just begun to develop an English producer wanted a secure market within their country. The only way this could be done was by preventing the entry of Indian textiles. In 1699, London's silk weavers rioted, storming East India House, that is, the company headquarters, demanding ban on cheap and better quality imports from India. Soon the British Parliament prohibited the import of all dyed and printed cloth from the East. Competition with Indian textiles also encouraged the invention of new machines such as the steam engine, the spinning jenny, water frame, cotton gin, power loom, etc. These would make the textile industry more efficient. With a view to harnessing these new machines and improve production through mechanization, a new technique of production called the factory system. After that, after factory system, we shall continue. In the next video, we shall come to know what was factory system which came to the existence that time. All such types of things we shall come to know through the next video. Till then, goodbye.